What's up, guys? Today we're going to be going over how to pretty much just create a project and create the deliverable, go through that entire workflow. So we'll start off writing our code to answer the grand questions, and then we'll convert, um, take the pictures and charts that we made with our code, put those in the MD file, and then from the MD file, we'll save that as a PDF, and then we'll turn that PDF into Canvas. So purpose of this is just to go through that process. We'll open up VS Code as always. And yeah, this is I have highlighted here is code that I wrote in a previous tutorial on how to make an Altair chart. So I'll run that. That's no big deal there. And then I also created another box plot, or a box plot, and then I also created a table here. And this is just to show kind of what a typical project might look like. Creating certain charts, maybe a table, and then how to get this into an MD file. Okay, and then just, I guess I can run this other code as well. This one will actually show what the box plot looks like. And I'd recommend, if you want, you can pause it here, you can look at the code, you can follow along with this tutorial. I definitely recommend pausing and really trying to understand what's going on, because this will be the workflow for every project this semester. Okay, and then I already saved these out to file. I didn't want to waste time in this tutorial doing that, so you can see them right here. Iris chart 2 and Iris chart. Okay, and then here's a table that I want to put in my MD file as well. Okay, I keep mentioning MD files. To create one, all you have to do is type a name, let's say intro, and then just end with the extension of MD. And all an MD file is it's plain text format, but it uses markdown code, and it's just a really nice way to write up our reports, put in images, has a nice way of rendering our code, and then we can easily turn it into HTML and PDF. But for purpose of this class, it'll be in PDF. But I've already created one here, demo.md, and this will be what a typical project will look like. We'll have our project title, we'll have our elevator pitch, and then we'll have a certain amount of grand questions, and then we'll have a section where we paste our Python code. This looks kind of, this is markdown, so it doesn't look the nicest. But there's a really cool way to preview it. And if you haven't already, click on these like 4 blocks right here, and type in Markdown Preview Enhancer. Yep, and it will be by this Wang, and then you want to install it. Install is pretty quick. Yep, it's already installed. You can get rid of that. And now you should see a second map with a magnifying glass to it. And always click on the leftmost one. That's one that we'll want. So if you click on it, it previews what our PDF will look like. So if I typed our project title, for this case, it'll just be, let's call it demo project. It'll show you in real time what the PDF will look like. So it's pretty sweet, pretty smooth. Okay, so that's our title. Elevator pitch, you'll write like a summary of the insights that you learned while doing this project, and basically just what you did in the project. I'm not going to go over too much what is needed in these, mostly just the syntax of how to get stuff here. Okay, and then we'll have our grand questions. First grand question, we can just say create a scatter plot. Again, I don't really have grand questions because it's just a demo, and I'm just writing grand questions that my plots already can answer. Create a box plot, and the grand questions are going to be a lot more in detail than actual questions. These aren't questions. Then third one is show a table. Okay, and you can see it all changed it over here. So here's our code. Our charts that we had saved out are right here. And we need to get these charts into the MD file. And to do that, we use this syntax. So exclamation point, square brackets, and then parentheses, and then we just write the file path, which would be irischart.png. And then we should see it render over here. Actually, I want to use the SVG in this case because it's clear. Okay, so that's how you do right here. One thing that you might need to be aware of is if there's 3 backticks in front of this and below this, it's not going to render. It's going to render this as if it's like code, but this is markdown, so we don't want that. Okay. Then we want to bring in our box plot, which is same thing. We just change the file path, which will be iris chart2.svg, if I can spell svg. Okay. And then it renders. Very cool so far. Then the next thing I wanted to show is how to do a table. This one's a little bit different. Let's go ahead and run this code, and that'll make this Python interactive window pop back up. So we want to get this table into our markdown. Pandas actually has this really cool function. It's called toMarkdown. Oh, it's actually a method, but that's okay. toMarkdown, which gives us this. And then if we wrap this entire thing in print, it'll show it a little bit cleaner. And what we can do is we can copy, oh, please let me copy, okay. Copy that and just paste it into our MD file. Okay, so this is the syntax here. And it's saying toMarkdown. This is the markdown way of writing a table. But it does it for us, which is there. And then if we click back on our preview demo, we should see it here. And it renders it super nice, super cool. So that's how we put in a table. Okay, and then in your when you're creating your projects, you'll want to write a paragraph underneath here explaining the insights that you got from the chart and answering the question. Okay, so we'll want a paragraph here, and then we'll want a paragraph here. We'll have a table, then we have a paragraph describing that table. I'm going to take those out. I don't even know why I did that. Oh well. Okay, and then in here we have our appendix Python code. This is where we're going to paste all of our code. So I'm just going to hit Control A and then copy all of our code and then paste it within these 3 backticks Python, these 3 backticks. I'm going to paste it there. Okay. And if you see over here, it looks super nice. It renders it as code. Super sweet, super cool. If we didn't put it in these 3 backticks, I'm going to take these away and just paste it. This is what it looks like. I mean, yeah, that's not nice at all. So let's not do that. Let's make sure we get it put in. Oh, that's not working. In the backticks, okay? And so this is what project might look like when you're finished. You have all your code, you answer the grand questions, you put in a paragraph explaining your elevator pitch. Looks great. And now we want to save this as a PDF. And to do that, we'll need to right click here, just anywhere on this preview demo. We'll right click it and then go down to Chrome Puppeteer and hit PDF, which just created, oh, I guess it just popped up, but it creates a PDF over here. I'm not seeing it, which should have created PDF there. Thank you. Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm just blind. Right here. But as you can see, it's not representative of what we actually created. And this happens to a lot of students. Most of the time, this will just be blank. That's because you didn't save the MD file. If there's a black dot right here, it's not saved. So we just hit Control S, and then we can retry it. PDF, Chrome Puppeteer, PDF, save it. File demo was created, and then sweet. It's exactly what we wanted. And then we should be able to see it here too. That's what we wanted. Okay, and then you'll go ahead and submit this demo.pdf, and then you'll submit your Py file as well, right here, your actual code, and then you're good. So that's the typical workflow. For a project, you have your code. You write code to create charts or answer the grand questions. You bring these over to the MD file, insert your charts like this, insert tables like this using the print dot to markdown, and then right click, Chrome Puppeteer, PDF, save it. Make sure you save this first, and then save this, and then submit them, and then you're good to go. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, always ask the TAs or the professor. They'll be more than happy to help. But yeah, hope that was great, and happy coding, guys.